I think the honorable thing for our species to do is deny our programming. Stop reproducing. Walk hand in hand into extinction. One last midnight, brothers and sisters opting out of a raw deal.
Do not trust any friends or family members. I repeat, do not trust friends.
Hey, by the way, I just want to let you know I'm growing a gigantic mustache.
Oh yeah, let's talk about something serious now. How's that going for you? Are you?
It's going okay. I'm gonna be ready for the weekend when we all, hit the shanty.
Oh right, is that what this is for?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic! You're just trying to live a normal life, like
I like when you guys
man.
go places with me.
Mm-hmm.
For whatever reason, to buy veggie hot dogs, anything, it's gonna just be an absolute shit show.
Well, if we're buying veggie
I'm
hot
gonna
dogs,
look like an asshole. I'm gonna have a hot pink shirt on, short shorts, and a full mustache.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, duly warned. I'll be careful. I'll wear my sunglasses.
Take it in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I was just thinking about that review that we got recently, where the guy was like, "What is this shit? It's incoherent rambling."
Yeah. That's funny. I listened to the beginning of that episode, and it kind of is for like the first two minutes. We weren't cooking. I probably could have cut those first 2 minutes, and then we started cooking about billionaires and stuff like that.
Oh man, he's probably a capitalist.
Oh wow, I don't know. It didn't respond to us. Not interested in the debate. Strangely, I don't know why.
What debate? Yeah. I told him he was embarrassing himself. Maybe he understood that he was.
He might have. Yeah, it was like shit. It's always it is embarrassing when someone tells you you're embarrassing yourself.
Especially when they use you are properly.
Yeah.
And you can't even get them with that one. You used you're wrong.
Yeah.
That's a good comeback though.
Yep. So yeah, I was.
Yeah. By the way, we don't make any money doing this, so if you come at us, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it.
Yeah. Get it real bad. Mm. Yeah. So
nothing to lose. Yeah.
Yeah. Except our meager audience. I don't know. You know what? I think what something's brought back our numbers again, and I don't know what like our numbers aren't huge, right? But they stagnated for a little while, and I feel it was the Taken series. I really feel that it was, and then once that was like safely behind us and no one was paying attention, people felt it was safe to come back to the Extinction Agenda. And that's fine, I thought.
Have we always been on 50-50 movies?
50-50 movies? What the fuck you mean by that?
No, I mean like 50-50 comics and movies. Not really. We were comics heavier at the beginning.
Yeah. I think when it's comics heavier, no, I just think when it's not action movies, because like no one's coming to us for action movies, specifically like really problematic action movies. But I'm sorry, everyone. That's kind of we like those. That's something that we like. That's like something we like to do. But though generally speaking, though, we talk the comics, and we talk. Sometimes we talk about Tom King.
Sometimes we do talk about Tom King.
Yeah.
And his fabled The Vision story.
Vision. Yeah.
From when?
Actually, you know what? It's 2016. Can you fucking believe it? Feels like it was a million years ago for me.
I just bought it earlier this year or late last year. So I just bought it and put it on my shelf because the guy at the store told me it was amazing and that Tom King was a genius. And I was like, you know what? That's big fucking chops coming out of the comic store, guys.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy this and put it on my shelf, and then I'm gonna come and talk shit to you about it later. But then I never read it until now.
Yeah, me neither. I had read his Batman run-in, but I was happy to because I saw this on. I think it's because I saw this on your shelf. I was like, let's do Vision. Which January 2016 to December 2016, and then somewhere through this August of 2016, he started writing Batman. So he hit the scene pretty hard, and right off the bat became a big deal. it's kind of an interest because he wasn't a big comics writer or whatever. He used to work in the CIA apparently. He was an assistant to Chris, according to Wikipedia. He was assistant to Chris Claremont way back when, and then he wanted to be a lawyer, according to his little like biography write up with his wife. Wife went on to actually be a lawyer. He went on to work in the CIA after 9/11, and and then wanted to write some comics again after that. And I think he's pretty good. I think he's a good guy. He's a capital G guy.
Yeah, this is really good. It's really like it's very odd. Like it's a horror story. It feels like a horror story, and it's definitely the coloring's beautiful. The coloring and the art, absolutely. Yeah. 5 stars. Really enjoyed it. I'm not familiar with the artist really.
Gabriel Hernandez Walta is relatively new as well.
But yeah, he came to play, and the colorist was phenomenal also.
Yeah, Jordi Belair, she did Catwoman for a little while. I think she's also like, what is she? She's got her own comic. It's it's about a housewife who's also an assassin. I can't think of the name of it. Anyway, it's pretty good. So she's a going concern. It's a good team. Everybody's good.
Yeah, everybody came out firing on all cylinders. I mean, it's ominous right off the get. It's not right what Vision's done here and made himself an awful family. It's really scary. It's really bizarre. Virginia's glitching balls right out of the gate. She's not right. She doesn't like to exist, and she's confused, and she doesn't like humans, and it's off. You're like 4 pages in, you're like, ugh, this isn't going good. You know, you just put that in your back pocket, right? That's what I was saying too when we were kind of talking about the end of the story was that I just feel like everything. This is a very clean, like an open and closed story. Yeah. And it's just that you start with Victoria. You really start with Victoria, and then
Virginia,
or excuse me, Virginia.
Yeah,
Virginia. You start with her and you end with her, and it's all wrapped up real nice.
Yeah, that's fair to say. Actually, it's even a little bit more than that. It's not just you start with her. So I might as well just finish this thought. The vibranium piano plays an important role in the story. So like it's like page 8 in the Hoopla thing that I have. It's and then the Zenla vase, very important.
Yes.
Captain America's lighter, important. The Everbloom, important. And then you turn the page, and then it's as Vision explained the local myth of the Everbloom, that its petals could unlock the doors of time, his wife grew unusually quiet. And that's it's just all on the table. Boom. And you can sense that something's going to happen, but and it's got he's my dramatic unity boy. It's all dramatic unity. It's fucking awesome. I mean, I said I was a little disappointed with the ending, and we'll get to it.
Yeah.
But you're right. It's open, closed. It's its own thing, but it also could be a sequel. There could be a sequel to this.
Oh man, this is a universe. He made like a mini, like a little microverse. It is uncomfortable. Yeah. It is a weird take on the Avengers. Like, I feel like you could have just let him roll this right into it.
Yeah. He quickly went over to DC though. He has very little Marvel work. Like perhaps this is it. And I wanted to. One of the things I said about Jeff Johns is that he's a guy who reads Alan Moore and just doesn't learn anything from it. Doesn't like learn a fucking thing. Right. And Tom King is a guy, he like look at this 9-panel grid that he sticks to assiduously. Like it's a thing that he does. He loves, and like Watchmen's baked into this dude's architecture. But I think he learned all the right lessons from Alan Moore. Like we're dealing with an omniscient narrator, and that contributes to the dread. there's constantly this intimation, like, like Vin won't live much longer, but during that time.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that. It's not subtle. It's all on the table. You're like, oh, this isn't. I don't have to wonder. Like, people are gonna fucking die. This is not gonna go well.
Yeah. Yeah, but and then you're just left in like, how are they going to die? Like at first you can tell, like, you're right. Everything's, even from the very moment when they open the door and they've got those like creepy robot smiles and stuff like that, and you're just like, may we help you? And he's dressed like a fucking boring fella. But it's it's a quirky idea within the superhero universe, and it's kind of, I don't want to step too hard on the Alan Moore influence because I think it's still a little superficial. This isn't poetry or anything, but I just think he learned the right lessons from Watchmen. It's not about the death and destruction and the darkness and the cool. It's about dread and quirkiness and humor and observations about life, which I think this book aims towards and sometimes achieves.
Yeah, I definitely. I'm on the same page there, because this is easy. It's easy to empathize with this family that he made, and it's you empathize with them and you want them to win, but they're living they're up against it. It's the impossible odds. They're unnatural and they need to go, and that's gonna basically like happen. But you watch them try to like strive for like a regular life that's like, it's funny commentary because it's impossible for even regular people in some circumstances, and then obviously these guys have super circumstances.
I think it works for the same way that, like, everybody loves Data, right? And this is like, it's a Data trying to be normal story. And Data's built his little wife, and he's built his children, and they're all like computery too, just like him. And we're always going to really like that. I think we're fascinated with this idea of AI because AI, it's kind of like, it's like a child to us. So as we imagine it, it's a dangerous child that we theoretically, in science fiction, hopefully, give birth to. And, we watch it kind of mimic us. And it's cute, like watching a child learning to walk. And it's innocent and it can control its emotions. And so it has like its innocence isn't tainted by petulance and, like the shittiness of children. And so it's kind of like, it's cute. We can watch a baby, going about like pretending to be an adult. And that's kind of even the case with Vision here. He's, like this thing that he's built, it is fake, like teenagers just don't emerge from nowhere. There's sleepless nights, there's worries, there's shit like that, and he's just created this thing like,
yeah, and it's actually kind of terrifying to think that his thought process was that he could achieve this without costing lives.
Particularly
is kind of odd,
Yeah.
And it's scary to think that that's the vision that Tom King imagined. And I can see how Marvel would want to one shot that and just be like, no, thanks.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because like he can't actually be part of the Avengers while doing this. Like, is this his secret identity? Is that what this is supposed to be? This is his equivalent of being Peter Parker trying to go back to Aunt May and stuff like that. It doesn't. Yeah, it's. I kind of like it as something for the Vision, but at the same time, like within the superhero milieu, like the subgenre, like that. It doesn't match like the way that the Avengers are.
Yeah, this is not that's what, and I think that's part of the thing too. When you see the later portrayals of Tony Stark and the Avengers are almost just silly. Like the Avengers just sort of serve this story. It's not they're not even used as Tony Stark is a fucking moron.
Yeah. And it's a shame that this is a bad time in Marvel's Avengers time like universe too, because like okay, Tony Stark's there, but you got Lady Thor, which is fine, but you got like the replacement Captain America, Falcon, and then all these other characters, and everybody has the shittiest costumes, and no one's drawn with any dignity or mystery or anything like that.
And I think one of the biggest things with doing that is like that's cool. I get you're trying to do something different, trying to do something new, trying to mix it up, trying to get new toy sales. I don't know what the fuck anyone's doing this for anymore. Right. But like the reality is like what fucking sells? The Superman and Batman fucking sell. Sell it, baby. They're on fucking bed sheets. They're in your movies. They're in your head. They're not going anywhere. You don't fucking replace them or change them. Then everybody's like, well, that's not fucking Captain America. And I don't give a fuck. And my kid's not buying those bed sheets.
Well, they never changed the bed sheets, though. Like, I
that's right, because Captain America is going to be back. So why am I going to fucking buy this whatever the fuck you're selling in the middle?
Yeah, but the comics are okay. We're getting a little off topic, but the comics are. I'll just say, comics are such a low selling thing, and all they're doing is, it's not the first time that someone's replaced the hero and then they've came back and stuff like that. It's new costume or this or
Yeah, I mean, I just think the butter's in the original Avengers. You use the sweet science, use the sweet sauce that you have.
Yeah, well, they didn't have it at the time, and so.
Yeah, I guess maybe that's the case too.
Well, they did. Well, they really didn't. Not that they didn't have the sweet sauce, but I mean, like all the characters that showed up in this, like that was the composition of the Avengers at that time, and you just kind of have to live with that. But like 8 years later, this looks stupid. 6 years later, this looks stupid. Like it looked stupid at the time, but now it looks especially stupid, and it removes all timelessness from this story. It feels very much like something that only. Even though Tom King does his very, very, very best to create a timeless story, issues 10 through 11 kind of drag this thing fucking down.
Well, I think that he did a great job, and I also think that he was dismissive enough about the current Avengers that his story holds up as an individual thing.
It does. I just think that. One of getting back to
maybe he felt the same as us, and he was like, "I'm going to make all the Avengers stupid fucks."
Yeah. No, but one of the ways that Alan Moore and Frank Miller used the Avengers or the Justice League or something like that, like when they showed up in the quirky Daredevil story or in the quirky and introspective Swamp Thing story. Or actually even when Gaiman has any of the superheroes show up in Sandman, they're given a sort of mythical sheen. They're also like sort of covered in shadows, like you're not fully looking at them. A little bit of that could have been helpful. Something to bring them out and make them feel meaningful. Because they just feel stupid. There's so many of them, and then Vision's just like blowing them up, and
he diminished them, man. Like he made, like remember Tony sent Vision's brother in midway through the story to spy on him from the guest room. It was the dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. That was your plan.
Yeah,
dude.
Could have just asked him. Yeah, but they feel he's malfunctioning, right? Like actually, and that's something that we're missing. Is everything is weird at a certain point. Okay, so let's back up. Let's talk about some of the things that happen.
Who's the fucking bad guy here that gets brained by Virginia?
Oh, the Grim Reaper.
The Grim Reaper gets he gets done.
Yeah.
Great kill from the Grim Reaper, though. I mean.
Yeah, he comes out, stabs the girl, and it is on the nose. He's the Grim Reaper. Death shows up, change, chaos, and suddenly like that's the catalyzing event which sets off everything else. Like the stage has been set, and then suddenly death arrives, and but it's a superhero, so
technically his wife is bathed in the blood of death.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
If you really want to get metaphorical about this shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Pardon me. And then we learn later on that she hides the body and stuff like that, and she reprograms Vision at that moment, so that he's not really comprehending everything that's happened, and it becomes
double back to that.
Yeah.
This reprogramming of the Vision. Is this just another story? She told every version of Virginia's stories were a lie leading up to that point.
What do you mean by this? Sorry. She says that?
No, they just are. They're always fabrications. The truth's always twisted from the events in the book. So
Right.
All I'm saying is, like, did she ever reprogram the Vision? Was he just aloof?
Right.
That's an arguing point, I guess, right?
Well, I think it's like on the one hand, it excuses the Vision for being like, at some point he's acting very strange throughout this, and like he's on the one hand he appears to understand what's going on, and the other hand, like, his house is destroyed, and he doesn't quite get it. Like, he's not seeing what we're seeing.
No, he's dangerous, and he's almost dangerous because he threatens to kill Tony when they revive Viv. Yeah. He's just off. I don't know that Tony takes it seriously, but he's off balance, and then Tony doesn't tell anyone.
Yeah, he just says it's fine, it's normal. Which is one of the things, like, that refrain of normal, like, it's such a kind of a teenager way, but this idea of keeping things normal and repressing violence, repressing strangeness, repressing emotions, just staying normal, is like a kind of a genuine theme that this book, I'll say like, it kind of grapples with it throughout, and just like everything's just about trying to just maintain normal, don't break down.
I think that empathizing with being an outcast, empathizing with, or being bullied at school, empathize is so easy, and it's like every single one of these characters is basically like an outcast struggling to feel normal, but you're experiencing it on all age levels. Teenagers to adult to male midlife crisis to a wife not feeling like at ease in her own household with her children and stuff. You're getting to experience feeling like an outcast on every single age of your life and every single genre, every single sex, So it's interesting in that, because you just get to have like downtrodden experiences, and like, I don't know, it makes you vouch for them. It makes you get fired up for the characters. You want them to succeed, and it's just shitty.
Yeah. And I guess we might I'm glad we read Avengers Disassembled prior to reading this. Not just because, like, Wanda's attempt to create her own family resembles, like we talked about it in the episode, but also because Wanda is central to this story. It's revealed later on, like, when we're looking at Virginia, in a lot of ways we're looking at Wanda, at the Scarlet Witch, and her difficulties and her efforts to control herself. So she's and she really does, and then shows up at the end.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I did like that twist in the story.
Nope. Someone tried to call me just then. Sorry. I'll cut that out. What did you just say?
No, I just said I liked the twist. When the Wanda part of the story sort of entered the book in the second part, when it was revealed that she provided him with that with the gem that was like basically like a shell, like programmed with her memories, so that he could use it to make a synthetic that was like her, which is so fucking sick and weird. And I don't imagine that anybody that created that thought that he would actually use it. The whole thing's problematic and disturbing.
Well, I guess like the Vision himself is sort of disturbing. I mean, I mean, he's a weird android, but he's Wonder Man at the same time, and this gets to your hatred of Wonder Man. Like he's got the same brain waves or whatever. Like he's a synthezoid, and I don't know. It's weird. Like this whole all these characters, and it kind of makes me think of like what is Vin and Viz based on? I guess it's Wonder Man and Scarlet Witch. So no wonder they're also fucked up.
Vin's not fucked up. He just switched that kid off in the cafeteria.
Yeah, and then like becomes obsessed with Shakespeare. Which I guess
yeah. He was actually a nice little comedy piece for the whole thing.
Yeah. But at the same time he's not just though, because like when he gets obsessed with Shakespeare, he gets obsessed with the Merchant of Venice, and actually it was pretty fucking ballsy to like that one scene, I am a Jew. And you're like, wow, okay, you're going outsider, you're going outcast, you're going like you're adding a level to this that I don't think it required, and I'm not certain that it was required. It didn't harm anything, but it just I was just like, I guess so. I guess you're like. I think.
Well, it's funny too because you usually bring up, you often bring up when writers do that in subtext.
Yeah.
In this case, he just was like, this is where I'm going with this. I'm gonna make Vin realize this.
Yeah. And yeah, but the stories don't match at all. Like there's no, I guess, yeah, no, it felt kind of weird, ham-fisted, and also I'm not going to say problematic, but just like unnecessary. There's any other Shakespeare story he could have like glommed onto or whatever, and yeah, not the worst thing.
And then what's Virginia up to here? She just decides to work on this Neighborhood Boys when she phases through the garage door and just fucking decimates that kid's face against the door.
Yeah,
that's terrifying. Yeah. She's not fucking letting anybody fuck with the household. She's really scary and has really heavy powers, and I guess that's the kind of other undertone that's there.
Yeah. Well, and she's very manipulative. It's revealed at the end that we've already said reprogrammed the Vision. She's made him think one thing or the other, and she's kind of manipulated him so the
I don't
the boy
think
kills her boy.
I was gonna say I don't think the undertones of this story do much for the Scarlet Witch.
They don't, and it I don't know, it doesn't. No, it really doesn't. And that's fair, but that's perfectly appropriate because that character is fucked up. She's a fucked up character who often goes rogue and destroys half of humanity. Like eliminating all the mutants and stuff like that. Like Wanda's a goddamn menace. But Viz loves her, just loves her, and there's I don't know. I don't want to like. Part of the nerd in me wants to spend some time in there, like just thinking about what does a creature of pure reason love about the creature of pure chaos, and then the other part of me is like, no, that's a trap for idiots. Don't fucking do that, James. That's not.
Is that a simple yin yang?
Yeah. It's like no. This is dumb. Like it's dumb. It was always dumb that like an android fell in love with a human and stuff like that. But who did that? It was Roy Thomas. This is some Roy Thomas fucking shit. Like Avengers 63 or something, right? Some kind of stupid bullshit that just like comes out of the romance impulses of early Marvel. And then just becomes part of the baggage. But Tom King really loves it. All that baggage. He loves all the resonance. He loves all the history in a way that also made me think of Avengers Disassembled. In Bendis's, like one of my comments was that I don't feel that Bendis loves Marvel history or comics history, and it's all just kind of window dressing for him, or particularly the Avengers. But I really got the impression that Tom King gave a shit about the Avengers. Whether he did or not, I don't know. But put a lot of love into Vision. So it just feels like love. This book's got a lot of heart.
Yeah, and I mean, I like you say too. I could have I could have gone 4 trades on this without batting an eyelash. But
Yeah,
maybe that's what's good about it, is he gave us the goods and left.
Yeah. Well, because there's no because he's resurrecting his wife at the end of the bit at this, like singing like merrily, 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 life is but a dream, and you're just like,
was he resurrecting his wife, or was he resurrecting Vin?
oh, I assumed the wife. I did assume the wife, but I could be wrong about that. I guess I'd have to look at that final image again. Yeah. I'll just fire it up while talking here. Actually, I can't do it quickly. But
And then Virginia blows away that kid and just fucking clunks his dad into a coma.
That was a weird choice.
That's grotesque, man.
Yeah.
I hope I never get punched in the head by a synthezoid into a fucking permanent coma.
Yeah, it was in like maybe she panicked or something, but yeah, she's just sort of murderous.
I never really got the impression she panicked.
Yeah, that's exactly it. She just made like a well, okay, here. Again,
the image of the dog fucking roasted.
Oh, I love that.
Gnawing on what's the Grim Reaper's weapon. That's fucking grotesque. And there were just like, man, there were real horror moments, like real shock horror moments that were like just saved for like just a fucking little nice icing every once in a while, just smattered throughout the books. Didn't overdo it.
I think also it like getting back to inappropriate imagery that nonetheless kind of served the story, like when Vision's holding up the football and it's like the Redskins, and he's like, what is the meaning of this? And then later on, like because they have red skin, right? And I was like, that's stupid. Okay. Yeah, but and then later on, like at the very end of that story, there's a Redskins poster or something like that, and there's blood all over it, and yeah, he just everything tries to be a little artsy in a way that like good. That's what I like to see. I like them to be sort of transgressive and kind of artsy and good stuff.
I really like the use of the flashback for Vision though, and Wanda.
Oh, that one issue.
Yeah. Wow.
By someone else.
What a great way to do that. And they and like you gave me like a brief history of their entire relationship, which is backbone comics lore for the Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just such a nice way to do it. Like, because like honestly, I don't want to go back and read all that old garbage. Just give me the gist of it. There you go. If you've never read it, you didn't need to.
It's a little bit more than that. It's like it's filling in the. So you've got like the Roy Thomas shit. You've got the John Byrne shit. You've got the stuff in between. And this book, the story of this book is like between the edges of those stories. Like what happened in between? Where like how do we emotionally resonate with those stories? How do we draw something out of those stupid fucking stories? And this is it. Actually this is where Tom King learned all the best lessons from Grant Morrison. This is a good finding the bits in between and making it meaningful.
The best was when he tells his toaster joke at the end of the issue, and Virginia doesn't laugh, and you're like, like it's just you just get you as if you didn't need any more hints that she was fucking off,
yeah just sitting there like it's kind of a dead marriage. And I like that it operates on like that. So fuck it, because like on the one, let's assume for the moment that it's not because Wanda. Let's be kind to the story. It's not because Wanda's fucked up. It's because Virginia, who understands that her mind is based on Wanda, is jealous of Wanda and has all these, like she says, she has all these memories that make her cry, and she doesn't understand why. Like, There's these bits of her that sort of bubble up, and that's definitely Wanda. But then imagine understanding that your husband isn't actually in love with the real version of you, and that that might
I
suck.
think there's a bit of a self-awareness too, like on the AI side of this too, where there's a realization in her right early, like right in the first few pages of the first comic, that they just don't belong. Like this wasn't natural, and it's not right, and it's not, and she's trying to explain to Vision her side of it, and he's like, no, we're gonna do this, we're gonna make a normal family.
Well, so I know what you're talking about. They're talking about, like, she says, like, they were kind, and the Vision says no, they were nice, and they have a little exchange about that. And I kind of felt that this was a moment, another moment of table setting for the story, because it's, he says, to assert as truth that which has no meaning is the core mission of humanity. So it's a very fucking Data moment. And then the pursuit of a set purpose by logical means is the way of tyranny. The pursuit of an unobtainable purpose by absurd means is the way of freedom. That is my vision. So he's like, like logic, if we were logical and we stuck to, like, if we used English correctly, I guess that's what logical means. Then we're no better than Ultron, and yeah, the pursuit of an unattainable purpose by absurd means is the way of freedom. It's a nonsensical. It's a nonsensical statement that I'm not going to take apart grammatically. It really doesn't make any sense. But I know what he's aiming at.
Kind of does if you apply it to Trump's America.
No, just any sort of, yeah, I suppose you're right. Yeah, but yeah, you can't pursue a purpose. You pursue a goal. If you don't have a purpose, then why are you engaged in the pursuit? Anyway, I could be going in circles about that.
He's just trying to make him sound like Data. Just don't get too mad.
Well, I think he's also trying to say that, like because Data would never say anything like that. Data doesn't really have a philosophy of freedom or this idea of like freedom is the ultimate goal, and the Vision ostensibly does, but where's the freedom in all of this? Like the dread that hangs over this, the predetermination, the predetermination, like everything is set for this guy from beginning, middle, and end. And
I feel like there's a bit of a narrative that they're in trying to live normal lives. You can see that normal life is a prison.
Well,
and I feel like that undertone is there.
Yeah.
That they're not free. They're living to conform, and it's horrific, and that's the system that humans have built, and that undertone's there, and it's not exactly out in the forefront, but
it is there though. Yeah, like it's definitely like Vision is purposefully putting chains on himself, and just like, I'm just gonna live I'm gonna have a secret identity. I want a secret identity is essentially it. And
he's just caging them with conforming. Yeah. Even when they go out for dinner, order and pay for food and just sit at the table, none of the meat.
Yeah.
Just so that they can conform.
Yeah.
Jesus, it's so fucking dark.
Yeah. To what end? Maybe it does make sense. He's in pursuit of a purpose, because I just don't understand. I guess the idea is that he is capable of love. Let's assume for the moment that he feels love, and he just wants. God, it's so sad. This whole thing, it does come back to Wanda. He just misses his wife and his kids, and so he creates this fucking monstrosity, and no one thinks it's fucked up. No one's like, you know what? Honestly, you just should have told Wanda that you love her, and you should have taken her back or something like that. And instead, this has happened. Having said that, this book erases getting finally to the ending and the reset quality of it. I do think that having Vision reprogrammed and stuff like that is such a bullshit cop out. This story would have been much more interesting if it was about a man whose jealousy and sadness and lack of control produced a fucked up marriage, and that spiraled out of control and resulted in the deaths of others. Like that's a good story. And to just like, okay, time for the reset. It was just evil robot that did it to him, and now what? It just loses. It loses all meaning, and turns into like, okay, that was fun, but once again, the villain is the woman. Like, okay, great. Yeah.
Yeah, this and then the like I know what you mean, where it kind of fell apart, where we have like Tony's Ultron child spy with literally no motivation to roast Vin alive. And then I went across probably like 15 pages of him screaming in this horrific death.
Yeah. Well, I think I got the impression that King's trying to sell that guy as ultimately a drug addict. That what's his name? Victor Mancha. He's got like a vibranium addiction, and so like one of the things that causes the death of Vin is Victor's using drugs, aka vibranium, from the piano that was set up in the first pages of the book. Because you get all that backstory and stuff like that. So I think he was kind of out of control, and it was all set up. Like maybe he, under different circumstances, he wouldn't have killed the boy, and he just would have paused him or something like that. But again, that's like Tony sent a drug addict robot into this scenario, thinking that that's a good idea.
Yeah. So then that leads to the sort of end scene where they find the body, and then and then Vision sort of sits around in a super ominous way, processes all ins and outs, and decides, I'm gonna go just execute this kid because he killed my son.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
It is, yeah. And and he's just gonna do it, and like I love that. And then to have Tom King took that away from us at the end, and I think the character of the Vision actually kind of deserves that intensity and that murderous rage and that sort of like basic human desire for revenge. Like this would have been a better character had they left it. Everybody's got room for redemption in comics, right? You don't need to reset that hard.
No.
Yeah, or not right away.
No, he does the hologram thing, and then he just rages right out, and it's fucking silent panels, and it's amazing. I was really pleased to see it. I was ready for it. I saw the fucking look on Tony's face. I was like, okay, this is cool. We're gonna get a real fear the Vision, man.
Well, he was when Ultron created him, like early, I guess it's a Roy Thomas thing again. Like he was a guy that was gonna kill the Avengers. Behold my ultimate creation, and he put him on the ropes, and we kind of forget about that, right? Kind of like the Martian Manhunter.
Yeah, he first thing he does is absolutely dominate Tony in a hilarious way.
Yes, yeah.
And then everybody's like, oh shit, yo.
Yeah.
Poop, Spider-Man, nice. Nice dismissive use of all the Avengers, and I loved it.
Well, what the fuck? Okay, so I'm looking at I mean, we already talked about this. I guess we don't need to go over it too much, but that's like Squirrel Girl and Miss America and Doctor Strange, Spider-Man. No, stop it. And I guess she does beat the shit out of Thor, or he does beat the shit out of Thor. Yeah.
yeah, really fucking badly.
Yeah.
Dispatches the hammer and then phases Beast and Captain Marvel.
Yeah, same thing with Black Panther.
Is that Medusa?
Yeah, don't get. Yeah,
Fucking beamed her right to the dome. No
Yeah.
chance there.
I like that. So they end up in that movie theater, and there's that one-page spread. And again, this gets back to the colorist. Really sells this story, makes it work so good. The art's very good, but I've seen this artist before on Magneto. Actually, those comics you gave me, you gave me like Magneto issue 1 by Colin Bunn or whatever.
Oh yeah.
That's the same artist, but doesn't look anywhere near as good. I think
No,
this is
the Magneto was a rougher style. It wasn't as
Mhm.
I see it now, but yeah,
Yeah.
and I liked I enjoyed the art. I thought it was lacking in the Magneto one.
Yeah, I just not liking. I don't. It's probably. I bet if we look back at it, it's probably pretty okay. But like, I just think with the like, it's the coloring just makes everything so fucking good. But what I wanted to talk about was the like Wonder Man's in the background playing Omega the Unknown, which is like an old Steve Gerber story, and it's like but he's also kind of playing Superman. Uh, and the sort of Marvel blockbuster is happening in the background. I don't have anything specific to say about that other than it's like a great choice. It's a real meta moment that allows the Vision to sort of encounter Wonder Man without encountering him. Because it's kind of like that's his own brain on the screen. Like that's like an alternate version of him out there. And like Tom never misses an opportunity to like layer things. And I just, particularly in this story, actually, you know what? He's going to fall off later, and I'm not going to care for his work at all. But I really like this. I think he's so solid in this book.
I did like the left cross to Doctor Strange.
Oh yeah, fucking he lost a tooth.
just fucking knocks it. Like, what a great way to deal with Doctor Strange, though, for real.
Yeah, well, you got. Yeah, what are you gonna do? Like, although he could come with his psychic projection body, Doctor Strange probably should have done more, though. Like, he didn't really nothing. He was about to do something, and then.
Yeah. Also, do you feel like Doctor Strange should have maybe had a handle that this was a problem, also? But let's just forget about that. Just giving him too much credit.
Yeah, you can't. Like, everybody ought to have known that this was all fucked up, but for whatever reason, I'm glad that this. I'm glad within the fictional universe of all these characters that they allowed this to happen, but they really shouldn't have, because it's stupid. It's crazy, and it resulted in madness.
I would greatly appreciate your cooperation in this matter. However, I do not require your cooperation in this matter. Absolutely, that was the quote for me. I love that you repeated it on his mission, and then just fucking did everybody in.
Mm-hmm.
I even dropped Wanda at the end. Evergreen.
Yeah.
Wow. Just a legend.
I'm so sorry, Wanda. I do not think that you understand that you ever understood. I want to be like it. That's such a. He wants to murder this guy. He wants to be filled with rage. And again, this is why like the cop out bothers me so much, because like that's normal. That's him trying to be normal by being like all fucked up and murderous and stuff like that. And like it just makes so much sense.
So now let's get back to my reading of this. And we go back, we flip to the next page, and we get Virginia's story.
Okay. And it starts with
reprogramming the Vision.
Yeah.
She eats the magic water, kills herself, the Vision's out front. Now her story that's in orange is broadcast multiple times in the first book. Twice. There are two versions of her story. They're both contorted. They're both lies.
But is this one a lie?
I interpreted this as a lie to get the Vision off the hook, and the Vision is damaged as everybody imagined.
Oh my goodness, I really like that. And so okay. Actually, I don't like it because it's also a weird cop out, but
it still is a cop out. Yeah, it's still a reset.
Yeah.
It's just a reset. Yeah. The Vision can just move on. But I read it that way, and then I took the end where he's working on the body of either his wife or his son as just him being like still honestly like a
Fucked
demented up AI that's not fucking right.
Yeah. Okay, wow. You know what, man? That is a redemptive reading. Like that does make some sense of it. So you're in this, like, she lied once and then lied a second time, but the first time to conceal the truth, and the second.
I see what you mean there too. Like I do see what you're reading is that there's no motivation to lie. I just feel like they made it so clear in the other prior to that. It only made sense that she just did it to reset his life with the Avengers and just take her own.
No, I think so. I think in both instances, what I was going to say is I think that can work, because she's in both instances, and I think you already said this, lying to maintain normalcy. But it, like, for different reasons, different types of normal. And in this, potentially she takes the blame.
Yeah, that's basically all I read it as.
Yeah, takes the blame, commits suicide. He lets it happen. He's like, oh, that's fucked up. I like that. I like that a lot, and I think I'm gonna read it that way from now on. Because why not? Because
I don't know.
Actually, you know what? I don't.
Maybe I'm wrong. I found it a little bit Pulp Fiction-ish or whatever, where it was like you could have your own fantasy reading of certain scenarios.
Yeah. No, yours actually works extremely well, because maybe because I did have troubles with him singing "Row, row, row your boat" at the end, like a broken AI.
It just leaves you with the same. It resets the story. Resets the end version or the end result is the same, right? The story is reset. The Vision is off the hook. The Avengers return to normal. This never happened. Let's wash our hands. Leave it at that, right?
Yeah.
And a good way to do this is a very aggressive story, so totally understandable that was either requested or planned.
Yeah.
But I do like that you can leave that ominous background to it if you know taking it that way.
Yeah. I like that. It can be both, but I think that's shit. Okay.
Is it still bad for you though?
No, I think it redeems the ending for me. I think it does. But at the same time, like it just suggests that he's very much like Wanda, but he kind of is, right? Like, he's never. The thing with him is that he started off as a villain, like many of the Avengers. That's a funny thing about the Avengers. A lot of them are sort of reformed villains, or not like Hawkeye and Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, Hank Pym. It's kind of a thing within the Avengers. So yeah, and I guess even Wonder Man was a villain early on, and so yeah, that sort of villainous. You kind of forget about that with a guy like the Vision, but you shouldn't, because he's a crazy AI, the son of Ultron.
Yeah, I know. Everyone wants to give him everybody wants to give him slack, especially after WandaVision.
Mm-hmm. Yes, well, because he's so charming.
Paul Bettany's so fucking charming.
Yeah. So I don't know. What do we want to getting to our new system here? Is this book guilty or innocent?
It's innocent.
It's innocent. It's innocent.
Whatever that means.
I guess we have to decide, like, of what crime. What is it? What crime is it innocent of?
Well, I believe, thought we were going to be charged with a pretty shitty book here.
Right. The crime of shitty book.
That's right. But it was innocent of that crime.
Yeah. I don't know if I thought it was going to be. Honestly, early on, if you would have asked me, I don't know, 3 years ago, I might have thought that. But with Tom King involved, I thought we'd end up with a pretty good book, and I wasn't wrong. I'm going to say it's guilty of being a great book. Maybe Guilty and Innocent doesn't work at all. Just being it's a great book. Yeah,
you
it's just
fucking sister. It's a very Siskel and Ebert system you have there now.
Yeah. Thumbs up, thumbs down. All right, so maybe this is a failure. It's guilty of the crime of having a lot of heart and trying to be extremely relatable and having a great structure that leads you to a meaningful conclusion that is then wiped away and potentially made meaningless so that the cycle of periodical sales can continue.
All right.
There we go.
Which is all you can ask.
That is really all you can ask of any comic book at any time ever. Well, so, all right. Maybe next time we're going to get together, we're going to be talking about werewolves. I think that's next on the agenda.
Yeah, it is. It's always
the old X-tinction agenda. Yeah, we're going to come at this from another angle. Instead of being androids, it's going to be werewolves. How do you be normal while you're a werewolf?
You can't. It's tricky.
Yeah, find out.
Yeah. Ugh.
Now, all we need is a little energon and a lot of luck.